It's been almost about a decade later, and it's changed everything.
Some of the lessons from Capstone about hope and resilience and leadership helped me to be better equipped to deal with some of those challenges.
And the friendships that I gained and really the lessons that I learned about vulnerability and authenticity leading to belonging have been really transformational in all of the years to come.
Hope, which is the theme of this whole event, hope is built within community. It's not done alone. We need other people to point us to Jesus.
It started me on a path of emotional and mental health wellness by opening up and giving a platform to be vulnerable with people around me.
It gave me a starting point and a frame of reference so that I could tackle those things with much more confidence.
I needed those people in my life when life was dark to be able to point me to God, and that wouldn't have taken place if I wasn't willing to take the risk with those friends to go a little bit deeper. And they responded. They responded to that, and I'm eternally grateful for it. Hey, I'm Josh Shee. My first Capstone was in 2015. I came to Capstone not wanting to have to do with anything with the student community. I came because I was interested in leadership and my coach told me I had to, and ultimately it ended up being one of the most influential events in my life.
Hi, my name is David Rethemeyer, and I went to Capstone as a student in 2017. I really wasn't sure what to expect from an event like Capstone, but it was just a really, really amazing experience where I got to learn so much and I developed so many skills that I didn't even know at the time would be so relevant to me for such a long time and so much further down in my life.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Savannah. So my first Capstone was in 2017. I came into it incredibly excited. I had been looking forward to Capstone because my older sister, Victoria, was really excited about the event and had told me how impactful and meaningful it could be for students. I came in feeling a little tentative about the content. It was kind of a hard season of my life, but I was really excited to give it a shot and see what Capstone was all about.
My first Capstone was in 2018. I came in already having my bachelor degree, wanting some of the community aspects. Capstone was vital to me as a person because I came in very numbed out on emotions, thinking that I could be a leader and be in hard situations without having to address my emotional and mental health. Capstone, through community, was able to heal and open up parts of my heart that had been very closed off. So it taught me not only principles that I was able to carry forward, but also gave me people to walk alongside with.
Capstone was super important to me because it was the first place where I was given permission to be authentic. Dr. Myers goes through a section called Tell Your Story as God's greater story of creation, fall, and redemption. It was the first place where I was, given that permission to open up to other people that were my age about the scary things, the hard things that were going on in my life.
I think Capstone is one of the most important events because it gives you an opportunity to see, first of all, life is really hard, but there is hope beyond the hard experiences. That no matter how challenging the experiences that you're going through or that you have gone through are, there is no experience that is beyond God's redemption. And you get to know that you are not alone in working through the hard challenges of life. And in fact, it's one of the most helpful things to have others around you who are working through hard things and doing life together.
It's not my 5 cups of coffee face, that's my sleep deprivation, but I'm trying to look happy face. That's what that is.
Extended all the way over to Jenny. There you go, that's perfect. Jenny, you have no arms. This is good.
Capstone is important to me because I came into my first Capstone with a belief that invincible leadership was the most important quality of being a good leader. My mom was going through cancer at the time, and I was really trying to hold my whole family together by sheer willpower and determination and tenacity, and I did not know that vulnerability was such an important piece of leadership. Since that point, I've come to see that you always need authenticity and vulnerability in leadership, and for me that lesson really started in Capstone 2017.
Coming back to Capstone has been that full circle experience. A decade is a long time, and to come back brought back a lot of memories of where I was 10 years ago and how different life has turned out from what I thought it would be, and how leadership is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. But the tools are super important. And I think that's what brings me back, is that there are tools to become a good leader, to bring forth authenticity, to bring forth your story, to bring forth all these things. And so it's been great coming back and sharing some of that experience, saying, you know what, life is astronomically harder than I ever thought it would be 10 years ago. But it's also astronomically better. When the Lord brings you through those things, that's where true leadership lies. Leadership lies in humility. I've been humbled. I was a pretty proud person 10 years ago. God has definitely humbled me, and it's been an honor to come back, even though I don't have all the answers. I don't have the gray hairs yet. There's a lot that God is still doing in my life. But it's been a great experience to come back and share a little bit of that hope. Things I wish I knew back when I was a student.
Now that we've come back to Capstone, we are able to lend that hand up that we were given. So if we came as students and we're learning how to be leaders, our teachers and mentors at the time were standing on a step above us, reaching down and helping pull us up to that next step of leadership. And now I think it's really rewarding, and it's an honor to be able to turn around and pull up another generation of students to that level, to show them vulnerability by leading it out, by sharing things in our session or in small groups that I wish someone had shared with me when I was their age.
It's crazy to think about 7 years ago when I came here to Capstone and I was 18 years old. So much of my life, pretty much every area of my life really, is completely different. I don't even think I had a concept when I was at Capstone of how much my life would change. But I also think that the lessons that I learned from Capstone about how to push through adverse circumstances and to learn from new experiences have been some of the most valuable things that I think that I've taken away from my college years. I get to work for Unbound now, and so I get to come to Capstone every year. This is actually my 5th Capstone now, and instead of being a part of the student body, I'm kind of getting to interact with the student body. I still get the opportunity to pour into them and to give back with some of the lessons that I've gotten to take, and I've gotten to invest in some of their relationships and the student culture now, just based on the experiences that I've had.
The reciprocity for sure has something that's really beautiful, being able to just share the same lessons that we were learning then, because there is so much continuity to the lessons of leadership and authenticity and vulnerability and community. We're engaging new life seasons, but still with the continuity of a person who's known you through all of these seasons that have led up to where we are. So, I mean, you're engaged and I'm married, and we're in a new season, but you're doing a new season alongside the people who have been steadfast for many years. And I think there's something that's really invaluable about the love and belonging and the grounding that come with that. All these years later, we're still deep in those lessons. It's just a little different season of life. And so I think it's really fun to be able to walk with students and to see where they're at in a journey that we're all on, just at slightly different stages.
What I would say to Unbounders at this event and in future events, as it's your first time coming, is hope is possible. And as you learn to be vulnerable, as you learn how to be a leader, don't be too hard on yourself. It takes time to learn. These are big lessons, and you have time to learn them. So have grace on yourself and have hope.
Life is always going to be challenging. That may not sound like an encouragement, but knowing the fact that, yeah, life is never going to be easy is actually a comforting thing when you also understand the fact that God is always going to be present through every single one of those hard things that you're going to work through. And we have a hope, thanks to what God has done in our lives, that is beyond our circumstances. He has given us purpose and hope and the ability to rely on Him that can get us through even the most challenging of circumstances. And He's given us the gift of community that we get to use to be able to do it together.
The thing I want to tell students today, the thing I wish I knew 10 years ago, is to hold your dreams loosely, too often, I had my dreams clutched in my hand so tightly, and I didn't want to let go. And I needed to let go. And it took a lot of pain to teach me to let go. Hold those dreams loosely, but also pursue them passionately. Don't give up on them, right? Just because they seem hard or difficult. Go after those hard and difficult things, but be willing to move when God moves. And to do that with people that love you and care for you. Don't do it alone.
What I would say to Unbound students today is to lean in. There's something that's really beautiful that you can gain here from this community and from the lessons that we're talking about, not only at Capstone, but just in Unbound as a whole. I would say learn to be real with God, to lean in and wrestle with Him and find out what you believe and why. Be real with yourself and become spiritually and emotionally as healthy as you can possibly be. And then lean into your community. You never know who you might bump into, and you might end up finding your best friend here.
There's an old African proverb that I've always just remembered, that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So go together.